Hello, everyone. Welcome to Activate. My name is Radu Miclaus. I'm Director of Product for AI at Lucidworks. And today we'll talk about the Fusion Advanced Language Packages, powered by Rosette from BasisTech. Personalization, in many ways, is one of the most important things when we talk about the search experience. And as a process, we tend to start with ingesting documents. Then we move to search curation. And some of the pillars in search curation, of course, at first is to do text interpretation, data enrichment, and once we're done with that, we move into relevancy tuning and recommendations. Once the search curation is done, then we can truly move towards personalizing the search experience. And when we do very good relevancy tuning and recommendations, we can give the users exactly what they are searching for and also guide them towards other interesting things. When it comes to using languages in terms of search, text interpretation and data enrichment become very, very important. And that is why we'll spend a little bit of time touching on some of the challenges when dealing with languages in the search applications. Language identification, character normalization, greater recall without losing precision, and also adding metadata by extracting entities and using them as intelligent facets and filters are all things that need to be addressed when dealing with different types of languages. And that is why we wanted to offer the best of breed approach to languages in search. Fusion is now partnering with Rosette, a very, very robust technology for text analytics from BasisTech, to provide this best-in-class search using best-in-class linguistics. So let's talk a little bit about the essential elements of multilingual search. This is how you can boost global search and quality with Rosette. First thing is some terms. Lemmatization. What it is, it associates words with the same meaning, and this is an alternative to stemming, which associates words that look alike with the ending removed. It's a lot more robust because with European languages, where adjectives need to agree with gender numbers and verb conjugations to create multiple word forms, this is very important. And it impacts search by increasing recall of relevant results, especially for European languages. And you have some examples here about in French for what lemmatization can do. Obviously, tokenization, which is dividing sentences into words for languages written without spaces in between them. Why it's important? There are some limitations to in bigram methods that ignore meaning and essentially does substring matching for one or two characters. And that for certain languages, especially character languages like Chinese, which are very ambiguous, one character could mean a word, but that's not often the case. So the impact of good tokenization, robust tokenization in search is by being able to increase precision, especially for character-based languages like Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. Chinese script conversion converts all records or queries in between simplified or traditional Chinese. And in the past, users have always had to choose a path between the two or run different types of queries. But now with this type of capability, with one query, one can search both simplified and traditional Chinese documents at the same time, which saves a lot of time, and see the results in their preferred script. Decompounding. If you've ever traveled to Europe, especially the Germanic type countries, you know what this is about. It's about splitting compound nouns, and they are very rich especially in Germanic type languages. And for example, a search for a compound word that has multiple nouns within it may miss results of two concepts, especially when they're separated within the sentence. To be able to do decompounding very efficiently, it will definitely increase the recall for German, Dutch languages, and even Korean search. Named entity extraction. It adds structure to your unstructured multilingual text by automatically identifying concepts like people, organization, location, products, strings of numbers, for example, etc. And it matters because now that you extract that type of knowledge from the text, that type of metadata, you can automatically apply it to filter better and guide your search experience better. So it's used for refinement, to remove noise, and also increase search relevance. How does Fusion use Rosette? Solr and Fusion together are very robust in terms of languages. It brings the power of Solr underneath the hood with multilingual tokenization. Solr supports about 35 languages out of the box. And we also added in Fusion support for OpenNLP, which can uncover 7 entities. When we add Rosette to the package, a lot more robustness happens, especially in the identification space and also entity recognition space. The linguistic packages from Rosette add a support for 32 languages. They can do sentence tagging, tokenization, lemmatization, some of the terms we talked about earlier, part of speech tagging, decompounding, Chinese and Japanese readings. For the entity extractor, it's even more powerful because it brings the support of 21 languages, and it also brings the support for extracting 29 entity types, and even more richer 450 subtypes, which are very needed in those languages and can add a lot more depth to the level of entity recognition that we can go in. So let's talk a little bit about what that user experience could look like. Here's an application that we built with Fusion using Rosette, the Rosette entity recognition package. And you can see it's a experience that guides the users through it. On the left-hand side, you have the facets that are pre-designed for the user in terms of persons, organizations, locations that they would like to explore. In the middle, you have a geographic exploration that allows you to drill down into events of interest. And within those events, right away within the text of the events, you can highlight and extract the entities that are needed. And as you select that event, the full detail of the entities related to persons, organizations, locations are all aligned on the left-hand side. So now you're seeing very easily how a search curator can curate a facet experience using very rich entities for the users, but also guide them through that exploration and giving them the details of the event that they select throughout the geographical exploration, and give them a lot more detail, both of the search results for that event and also the details around the selection itself per entity. So that is very powerful for reducing the noise and focusing on personalization. So if you have a language identification need in your search applications, and you're looking to enrich your data with best-in-class entities and sub-entities, please ask us about the advanced language packages at the BasisTech booth here at Activate. Enjoy the conference. Thank you.